So one of my favorite plots in Magic is the Spectator cuts to the aces. In fact, I'm pretty much obsessed with this whole idea. I can't get enough of them. I'm constantly reading books and trying to seek those out specifically just to learn the next one, just to feed my addiction when it comes to Spectator cuts to the aces. So in this video, I'm going to teach you a version that I started sort of playing around with that was inspired by ideas by Alan Ackerman, Harry Reiser, Fred Taylor, and it's a hybrid of a few different things, a few different ideas combined into one impossible, mind-blowing feat of impossible magic. Well, at least I think so. Let's get into it. Okay, so here's how this trick looks, and to be honest with you, I'm not even sure if this is going to work or not, but hey, we'll try. So what I'd like you to do is, if you were here, of course, try to cut off this amount of cards exactly. Now, it has to be exactly this many cards for this trick to work, so try your best and see what you can do. And so they do that and say, ooh, you know what? I think that was actually exactly. Let's try it again. Let's see if we can get lucky again. So they do that. They just cut off some cards. Try to match out exactly. Ooh, maybe one card off, but that's all right. We'll try. We'll try and see. We'll still try. All right. We'll see what we can come up with here. Try to cut off exactly half of these cards here. Say, ooh, that may have been one or two cards off. But we'll still try. All right. So this time there's only a few cards left. Instead of cutting this time, why don't you just give me a small number somewhere in the middle here? Say maybe I don't know 5 through 10. All right. So they do. Maybe they say 8. All right. So you just go 2, 4, 6, 8 cards. But that could have been any number, and the result would have changed this dramatically. All right, so if you would have said 7, that would have been any other card. But you said 8, and you shuffled the deck, and you cut anywhere. But let's take a look at the card that was at number 8, where you wanted it to be an ace. Now you cut to 3 other cards. I had no control over that. And I said for this to work, you'd have to cut exactly that many cards. But I felt like you were a card off each time. But let's still see how you did. Well, that's an ace. So maybe, ooh, that's an ace. And the first card you cut to, well, that's also an ace. Okay, so here's how you do this. So you want to have 2 aces on top and 2 aces on the bottom, okay? So when you start this, you want to actually take about a quarter of the deck and just slip cut that first ace, go a quarter down and keep a break above it like this. Or if you're not a fan of slip cuts, and some people aren't because sometimes it can look obvious, what I did in that performance is, where'd it actually go? Oh, there it is. I actually had a pencil dot card, and I just put it somewhere about a quarter down, so actually there's 1 ace on top and another ace about a quarter down in the deck right there. So what I ended up doing is I just spread the deck like this and just got a break above that pencil dotted ace as I closed up the deck. And then that just is the same thing, except you're, substituting that slip cut for just spreading the deck and looking for that dot, getting a break as you close up, and then everything is the same, right? So now look, we're going to try something. It might not work, but we'll still try. And you adjust your cut, and this is Harry Reiser's idea. You say, look, you cut at the break, and you say, look, try to cut off exactly this many cards. And all you're doing is cutting at the break. So at this point, there's an ace right here and an ace right here on top. So there's 2 aces, right? So it doesn't matter. And you're saying, look, just try to cut off exactly this many cards. And they do that. And you can hold them in your hand as I do this. I just put them down because I have to use my hand. All right, so they cut off some cards. Now, even though it seems like, they really did cut some cards, but the card they cut to was not the top card, but nobody ever remembers that. It's just the fact that they are cutting, free choice of where to cut, but where they cut is not how you will reveal them in the end, okay, if that makes any sense. Now, after they do that, just put these back on top, and no breaks are held, and have them do this again. And so they do. Try to cut off exactly that many cards again, and see what happens. All right, it doesn't matter how many they cut off. Just have fun with it, and your presentation and your personality, let that shine through during these moments. I try to cut off exactly that many cards again, so they do. And at this point, of course, there's 2 aces on both packets. All right, so you're way ahead. All right, now since there's 2 aces on the bottom, yeah, as you're talking, just slip shuffle one of them to the top of the deck. What I mean by that, of course, is you're starting a shuffle and you're just holding back one of those bottom aces with your fingers. So you're like this, and you're just shuffling that other ace that was second from bottom to the top of the deck by running singles towards the end. So you have an ace on top now. All right, now after that shuffle, don't say that you're shuffling. Don't call attention to the shuffle. Just do it casually as you're talking, and it just goes unnoticed. All right. So don't draw attention to it. All right, is what I'm trying to say. Now just have them do it again. Try to cover exactly that many cards. Blah blah blah. Just like that, or exactly half of these cards, or whatever you want to say. And so they do that. Now at this point, there's an ace on bottom, and you want to get it controlled to 7 from the top, and this is how you do it. All right, so you just do another slip shuffle, milking the top and bottom cards only. All right, so that'll be the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so you just do 6. All right, so it's a slip shuffle, and then it's running 6 cards. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that'll give you, and you throw these back underneath. All right, so that goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from top. So now at this point, you're going to actually force that last ace on them using Fred G. Taylor's Curious Count force, which always forces the card at number 7, no matter what number they pick. All right, and I've always found it kind of weird. And there's no justification for saying pick a number between 5 and 10, because that just seems kind of weird. I mean, why would you say that? But having such a small packet, I think, justifies it, right? So there's only a few cards left. Name any number, maybe somewhere in the middle, say, I don't know, between 5 and 10. And you're spreading this packet, and you're showing that there's only a few cards left. So by saying somewhere in the middle between maybe 5 and 10, it really makes sense, right? So this force is perfect for that, I think. And so they say, we'll just go through them. If they say 6, since it's already, we'll leave the face up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right there. If they say 6, we'll just go through them together. If they say 6, just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then put the deck on top of there. So it's ready to go. If they say 7, self-explanatory, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If they say 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, it's already at 7, so that's what you do there. If they say 8, here's what you do. You count to 8 in pairs, so you just count by 2s, right? So you would go 2, 4, 6, 8. Again, the card is at number 7. If they say a 9 in this case, you would do that same thing, but in this case, count in triplets. You count by 3s, all right? You just count to 9 by 3, so you go 3, 6, 9. So no matter what happens, if they say 6, 7, 8, or 9, it's always going to be the top card of the pile. So at this point, there's an ace on each pile, and so disclose that and reveal that however you would like. Alright guys, so as always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It truly does mean the world to me. And so if you learned something new and if you got value from the video, do me a huge favor and hit that like button and sub to the channel. Until next time, happy practicing. I love you guys.